Today I want to talk to you about how do you know when an exercise is finished? When do you know that you're supposed to stop practicing and move on? It's almost 8 a.m. and here we are at the academy. There's a lot to be done, there's a lot of work ahead of us. But before, I gotta go to the gym. Every week I teach students, and every week I see the same problem. I teach them an exercise, and as soon as they understand how the exercise goes, they stop practicing. Obviously that's absurd and it won't lead to anything good. When you understand an exercise, that's when you start practicing. The first phase was really just that, understanding it. Now, what do you work on next? You work on fine-tuning it. You work on making that exercise applicable. So, I ask you, how do you become a master at an exercise? How do you, say, learn a paradiddle or a scale, whatever, and really develop mastery at that exercise?
This is lost practice divine. Synthesize the style in the mix. Slip off your kicks, turn it up. I'm up to old tricks. Play cool, tune faster, breath control, mic technique exact, exceptional. Still in defiance, build self-reliance. Trying to do right through the blue night. Soul night, the whole night through. Enact the cut, my saw blade sharp, and that's what's up.
So, just when you feel like you should move on, ask this question: do I have the R factor?
Build the force of will, drop tunes till the opportune moment.
So the R factor, what is it? The R factor is a question. And when I ask myself if I have the R factor, all it means is this recordable? So when I'm practicing an exercise and I'm convinced that it sounds good, then I ask myself, does it have the R factor? Can I record this today, put it on a record, put it on an album, put it on YouTube, whatever, for everyone to see? Would I do that? Maybe you know this about me, maybe you don't, but I'm really hard on myself. I push myself every day and I'm never happy. I mean, I'm a happy person in general, but I'm not happy about what I do. Is that weird? So when I practice and I ask myself, does this have the R factor? Then usually the answer is no. Because we tend to stop before it's time to stop. That's perfectly normal. It's just because you're tired and you're tired of pushing. And as humans, we have a natural tendency of just giving up. So I would advise you that whenever you practice, you ask yourself those questions. Again, I see this every week. Students come in, they learn a pattern, and once they understand, say, the sticking or how the mechanics go or how to coordinate the limbs to play the notes correctly, they assume that it's finished. They assume that the exercise is now learned and they're just gonna move on. Here's what happens. It never sounds great because all you did was understand the exercise. You didn't really learn the exercise. And then I also see a lot of students who come to me and say, I don't seem to be able to apply anything to my playing. Like I'm learning all these drum beats, all these fills and licks and rudiments and how to sight read, and I don't seem to be able to actually use them. To each, of course, I always respond with a question. Do you really know the exercise, or did you just understand the exercise? Have you tried to play that exercise along to music? Have you used that exercise when you practice with your band? Have you practiced that exercise at least 5 different tempos? The answer is always, no, I haven't. I just played what you gave me and it was correct, so I stopped. Right, it lacked the R factor. So guys, the next time you sit behind this beautiful instrument, make sure you practice until you are confident that you could use that exercise, drum beat, fill, whatever, on the record. You could use it live. you could put it on YouTube, you could teach it. If you are confident that you can do all of those things, then yes, you do know the exercise and it does have the R factor. But if you know deep inside that it's not ready, and it definitely doesn't sound like what I know that it could sound like, then it's time to carry on practicing. Good luck!